Yeah, of course. So my name is Kerim Satirli. I'm a senior developer advocate at HashiCorp, where I focus on infrastructure and orchestration tooling. Basically stuff that you already know: Terraform, Packer, used to do Vagrant, not so much these days. Nomad, of course, plenty of that. Yeah, my focus pretty much towards more of the edge computing stuff. Things, like what can we do closer to where data is generated? And I've been really lucky to be able to focus on that. If you look at it, individually, like Terraform, obviously infrastructure, Packer, machine images, Vault security, Nomad orchestration, they all seem to do different parts, but they all really work together. We split it into ILM, so infrastructure lifecycle management and security lifecycle management. But just because you're in the security lifecycle management doesn't mean you're not touching all the infrastructure tools. We think of it more as a holistic problem and as a holistic journey that you have to be part of. So, initially you'll start deploying your infrastructure with Terraform. Then you find that, we need to do some stuff with machine images, so you bring in Packer. So now you're, at two of these products. How do you orchestrate your stuff at the edge? Well, maybe you'll bring in some Nomad. Maybe you want to have developer portals, so you bring in Waypoint. They all solve different sub-questions of the same big question, like how do we make sure our infrastructure, the whole platform, keeps working, is developer friendly, is user friendly, and easily maintainable. It's never easy in the sense of like, a single button, because the stuff we do, the stuff all of us do, is never that simple. But we can definitely make it more approachable, more reliable, and that's been a focus for us pretty much since the beginning. Terraform was built with that idea. All the new stuff coming out is built around that idea. And we want to make sure we can give you tools that make your journey worth it. Primarily, it's not about the technology you use. Whether you use Terraform or CDK TF, or even just cloud init scripts that you push in. Ultimately, what matters is that your workflow is supported, and that's where our tools, I think, shine really well. That's a great one. So if you look at the whole life cycle, the common terms that you'll hear is the day 0 challenge, day 1 challenge, and the day 2 or day 100 challenge, or challenges. Realistically, there's always more than one. So for day 0 and day 1, Terraform and Packer, maybe some Vault. Day 2, when you get to, so if you think about it as build, deploy, scale, building, we have tools for that, that we can help you with. For the deploy phase, of course, you might be bringing in teams that don't understand infrastructure as code, that don't understand infrastructure, but they do understand the web UI. So we have a developer portal product for that. And then when you get to scale, well, maybe multi-region, multi-cloud. We have patterns that work around that. We've got validated designs that can help you hit the ground running versus actually just hitting the ground. Personally, a big fan of that. I think what's cool is because we've been doing this for more than a decade, we've seen a lot of patterns, right? We can extract some really good patterns from that and see what the common denominator is between all of those products. So we try to be there for you for every part of the journey, just because we want to make sure that when you find yourself in this situation, like, well, our company is scaling across the globe, 16 different countries, 3 different clouds, because we bought 2 subsidiaries, how do we deal with that? That we have an answer for that. So there's a couple ways of saving costs, right? On the lower end of the easy stuff, maybe, if you need to run a product like Vault and you don't want to run it yourself, we have a SaaS solution for that. Sounds like a marketing pitch, but really it comes down to, do you really have the time and skill to staff a team that can run such a critical part of your infrastructure? If not, maybe, just getting the SaaS solution and saving the time of your engineers to focus on actual building value for your company is a good approach. But let's say you're not involved. Let's say you're purely in Terraform land. There's some really cool things that have been around for a while, like setting default tags. So every resource that you deploy in AWS, in Azure, in Google Cloud, and many other providers, all have tags that you can then track through the billing interfaces of those tools. So you can clearly see, hey, this team is spending, a disproportionate amount of money on a development environment. Well, we need to think about that. What can we do there? Then, if you're using HTTP Terraform, you can actually set those development environments to be automatically deprovisioned when a certain time limit gets hit or when there's no activity in a week. So we want to make sure we're not burning through cloud credits, creating what is commonly referred to as cloud waste. Also helps the planning, like if we don't have massive compute running in all the clouds doing nothing, good for everyone, good for your CFO, good for you, good for the next generation. So there's a couple of ways that we can approach this, and tagging is definitely the lowest hanging fruit, but if you have not done anything in this area, that's where you should start. Any exciting updates? There's definitely some exciting stuff coming. For that, though, I can't lift the veil just yet. I'd have to tell you, check out what's coming at Hashi Days in London in June and in Singapore in July. We'll definitely have some cool stuff to talk about at that point. Then, of course, look at HashiCorp. We're generally, saving the coolest stuff for those conferences. So have a look there. But of course, we also want to have something right now, right? So if you're, for example, into IoT, look at EST that Vault added a couple months ago for device registration. Have a look at some of the other features. Since we're here at KubeCon, worth talking about secrets management inside Vault, inside Kubernetes with Vault. So head on over to developer.hashicorp.com/Vault. We've got an amazing Kubernetes tutorial there on how to get all your secrets managed through Vault inside Kubernetes in the easiest possible way. Never say easy, because security shouldn't be easy. It should be structured, it should be reliable. But it's definitely, we've got the guardrails there for you to use that solution from the get-go. For us, it's do cloud right, which really comes down to think about the challenges you run into, think about how you want to solve them, what patterns will work, and what workflows can work. And that's really it. Come to talk to us at our booth, and let's figure out how we can work together.